Welcome to the Dume Media. Today, we're diving into Amravati, and let me tell you, this isn't just some spot on a map in Maharashtra. Think of it more like a puzzle, a place full of contradictions, where incredible promise and, well, some serious peril live side by side. So to really wrap our heads around this, I want you to chew on this question for a second. What if the best things about a place, its smart, educated people, its amazing natural resources, were actually the cause of its biggest problems? It sounds crazy, right? Well, that's the paradox we're going to unpack today. All right, let's get into it. Here's how we're going to break it down. We'll look at its rich history, then the modern-day paradox, a major crisis happening in the hills, and finally, we'll see if there's a new path forward. Okay, first things first, you can't really get what's happening now without looking back. So let's dive into the promise of Amravati, a place with a seriously deep and impressive history that has shaped who they are for centuries. I mean, look at this timeline. The history here is just wow. We're talking about organized communities way back in the Iron Age. Its name shows up in stone inscriptions over 1,000 years ago. It had this golden age of prosperity under the Maratha Empire, and then of course the colonial era came and changed everything, setting the stage for where it is today. And you know what's really cool? The city's original name, Boravati, literally comes from the trees that grew there. How amazing is that? It shows this deep, deep connection to the land and to faith, with the famous Amba Devi temple also being a possible source. That tells you a lot about its identity right from the very start. So all that history feeds right into this incredibly vibrant culture. Amravati is really the cultural heart of the whole Vidarbha region. We're talking about amazing spicy food, super energetic folk dances, huge festivals, and it was also the home of some really important freedom fighters and social reformers. It's a place with a lot of soul. All right, so we've seen this amazing, celebrated past, but now we get to the tricky part. We're going to see how all of that builds into a really stark modern contradiction. This is where the story gets complex, and it's the paradox that really defines Amravati today. Okay, so check this out. On one hand, Amravati is an absolute powerhouse for education. It's got a major university, and look at these literacy rates. Over 87% total. That's higher than the state average. So you've got this stream of highly educated, skilled people coming out of the system. And yet, here it is. This is the core of the paradox. You have all these smart, educated people, and the official government classification for the area is industrially backward. It's just mind-boggling. There's almost no industry there to give these people jobs. So what you end up with are these two completely different stories of Amravati. You've got the promise side, the big university, the smart workforce, the rich farmland. And then you've got the peril side. No industry, no formal jobs, and what happens? The best and brightest, they have to leave. It's a classic brain drain. And this paradox, this clash between promise and peril, it's not just an economic problem. It becomes a literal life-or-death struggle when you go north, into the stunning but deeply troubled hills of the Melghat region. So, on the one hand, you have the Melghat Tiger Reserve. It's this incredible ecological treasure, this jewel in the mountains. It's a critical habitat for tigers, a place of stunning biodiversity. It's something the whole country is proud of. But then, you have the people who actually live there. For the indigenous Korku and Gond communities who have been there for generations, it is the center of a heartbreaking humanitarian crisis. Just read this quote. A daily, kilometer-long walk uphill for water that's probably contaminated, that's their reality. And this is the gridlock. This is the catch-22. The area gets a ton of rain, but the people can't get clean water. And why? Because the same rules that are there to protect the forest and the tigers also prevent them from building simple things like wells or pipelines. So they're trapped in this awful cycle of hardship and disease. So the big question is, how do you break this cycle? Is there a way out of this stagnation and conflict? Well, there's a lot of hope being pinned on one massive industrial project that might just be the answer. And here it is, the PMIT Textile Park. This is a huge deal. It's a massive government project, and the idea is genius, really. It's designed to build on what Amravati is already good at, growing cotton. The goal is to create the entire value chain, from picking the cotton to making the final shirt, all in one place. And the potential impact? Just look at that number, 300,000. That's the estimated number of jobs it could create, both directly and indirectly. I mean, that's not just big. That's a total game changer. It could be the thing that finally gives all those educated young people a reason to stay. But it's not as simple as just building a park. For this to really work, the plan has to be smart. And it is. First, you've got to build the infrastructure fast to get companies to invest. Second, you have to sync up the local university with the skills these new jobs will need. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, you can't ignore the crisis in Melgod. You have to solve that at the same time by delivering clean water and healthcare. Which, of course, brings us to the final critical question. This textile park, it holds so much promise. It really is a chance to rewrite the story of Amravati. But can one single project, even a huge one, really solve a paradox that's been centuries in the making? A problem that's tied up in history, geography, and bureaucracy? Honestly, only time will tell. Thanks for watching this explainer from the Dume Media.